I'm Christine Jordan. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm a senior investment consultant with our wealth office. I recently had a humbling experience that I would like to share with you all. I took my eldest daughter to Senegal this past July. We went to Senegal to help the village of Kiel build a school. I'm on the board of a charity called Girls Supporting Girls, and we raised the money to fund the construction of the school. Lexi and I were able to be in Senegal for the groundbreaking and for the first week of construction. We lived in the homes of one of the families in the villages and got to learn all about their culture and their lives. These homes had no running water indoors, very little by means of material possessions. The adult women cannot read, and the children were running around with flip-flops or barefoot. Yet I've never experienced a time with a more joyful group of people in my lifetime. They were always singing and dancing, even when we were mixing cement and digging out latrines. They were smiling and asking us what they could do for us. The organization that we partner with, they did a debrief every evening. And during one of these, they posed the question, what have you experienced here that you want to take back home with you? It was a question that made me stop and think, how do I bring this feeling of teamwork, gratitude, and happiness back to my everyday life? And that desire to find happiness does, in some form, bring us to the main themes of today. Many people feel that if they can increase their net worth, they will be happier. The root of most of today's topics focused on the will to learn more about managing, maintaining, and growing our money. There's a lot of time, interest, and energy put into money. And when I think about why, I think it comes back to this desire to find happiness and thinking that more money is going to help in that endeavor. And that happiness can look different for everyone. It can be building your dream house, or being financially secure enough to know you can weather a changing job market, or unknown future health issues, or helping family members when in need. Along with all of that, there's the underlying hope that life will also be fun. And let's be honest, there's a lot of fun things you can afford to do when you're financially successful. So embedded with all of this, we start to look and observe at what others do to have fun. And as we do that, we find more things that we want to do. And with the prevalence of social media, we get a glimpse inside people's lives in a way that we never have before. As the mother of 3 children, 2 being teenagers, I'm very well aware of the lure of social media. But teenagers are not the only ones to fall prey to the mystique of Instagram. Friends, family members, colleagues, and the worst of the pack, influencers, all start to creep into our feeds with their carefully curated images of the best moments of their lives. Now, everyone here is intelligent enough to know that there's more to our lives than what we see on Instagram. Yet, we start to click on the links and look up the websites to the exotic vacation homes, the safaris in the Serengeti, the gorgeous mountain chalets, designer purses, the coolest cars. And this comparison culture can lead us to constantly want more spending, more luxury, more status. But as Teddy Roosevelt said, comparison is the thief of joy. And that brings us to the phenomenon of lifestyle inflation. Lifestyle inflation, simply put, is the tendency to spend more as we earn more. And as our income increases, we tend to spend more on non-essential items that promise temporary satisfaction, but lead to long-term financial strain. The more we spend, and we start to get tempted by others, the more we tend to get ourselves into situations where our salaries are not keeping up with our spending. As we adapt to those new income levels, we start to face new challenges. A 2021 survey by MassMutual found that 51% of Americans said they experience FOMO, or the fear of missing out. And 39% said that they're inclined to spend more when they see others doing so on social media networks. But as income rises, we should be able to have some instant gratification and not save every dime for the future, right? I mean, as I said earlier, we're all looking to have some fun, and hopefully we can do so while we're still healthy enough to enjoy that. So how do we find balance, enjoying life now while saving for the future and continuing to find that happiness that we crave? Here are some tips. Practice mindful consumption. Evaluate what truly brings you fulfillment. That's what brought me to join the board of the charity that took Lexi and I to Senegal. We raise money to fund international school programs that help to eliminate gender barriers in education around the world. And we also fund programs locally to teach our children about their peers globally. Set financial goals. By having defined, clear goals for your finances, you can help resist all of the temptation that life is going to offer to you and keep you on track towards those later years. Limit social media exposure. This might be more relevant for the teenage generation. As I mentioned, I have a few of them in my house, but try to curate your feeds to show sites that uplift you and inspire you, rather than ones that create those feelings of envy and jealousy. Embrace gratitude. Cultivate a practice of gratitude for what you already have. There was a study that showed that a single act of thoughtful gratitude can increase your happiness immediately by 10% and showed a 35% reduction in depressive symptoms, showing how strong gratitude is in our happiness. Foster real connections. Having authentic connections with family and friends can bring you a level of joy that you just can't replace with material objects. When I think about what brought me the most joy in the past year, it was, of course, the amazing trip to Africa I took with Lexi, but also the softball tournament in a small town of Wisconsin for my youngest daughter, countless basketball tournaments in the far suburbs on Sundays with my son, going to Ethics Bowl competitions at my daughter's high school, and all of those things, when I look back at them, brought a level of joy that I wouldn't replace with having been on a vacation at any of those times. Lifestyle inflation is a common but often overlooked challenge in personal finance. By prioritizing your financial goals and focusing on the tips I've shared, you can enjoy the benefits of increased income without falling trapped into lifestyle inflation. It can be a psychological challenge to find balance and satisfaction in a world of endless comparison and consumption. But they say when we count others' blessings instead of our own, we're bound to make an accounting error. But by staying grounded in our values, setting clear goals, and practicing mindfulness, we can better navigate the landscape ahead of us. Remember, financial freedom comes from managing your money well, not just earning it. And isn't money management in all of its various forms why we came here today? I'm going to end with an update that some of you might be wondering about. I'm happy to say that the school in Kiel, Senegal is complete and class is in session. I hope to be able to take my other two children on a similar trip to instill in them that there's more to life than just what money can buy. Thank you.